Hello and welcome to this new Starfield video, and today we're covering everything that comes from Gamescom about Starfield. There's so much new and exciting information coming from Gamescom on Starfield, so we've got some interviews for you with the man himself, Todd Howard, and also Pete Hines, and then we'll have some impressions of the people who were invited to take a closer look on Starfield behind closed doors. Lots of cool stuff from Gamescom, so buckle up for this, and at the end of the video we're gonna check out your top comments on my latest video, so stick around until the end for this. If you enjoy what you see, please consider supporting the channel by giving it a thumbs up, and to stay up to date with all things Starfield, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and activate the bell notification to never miss a video. But now let's jump right into it. Let's kick things off with the man himself, God Howard. He has given an interview on Gamescom on the current state of Starfield, which is pretty interesting, as he mentions a day 1 patch incoming. Keep an eye out for that part of the interview, and then he goes on and talks about what you can expect from Starfield. Very interesting stuff, but let's take a look.
Thanks, Todd, so much for joining us. We're here at the Starfield Theatre. What are fans expecting to see?
We're actually showing everybody the beginning of the game here. It's kind of edited down, but they get to see how it starts, a little bit of character creation, and then they're off on adventure.
Yeah, brilliant. I've seen some of the reactions of people coming out, and it's like everyone looks super excited.
All right, good.
Can't wait to see. Also, how's it back home? How are the team holding up with this close to launch?
This is it's tight time. I mean, the game's pretty much done. We're doing a couple final tweaks. There's a lot of things that go into a game of this scale actually launching, but super excited. We love the game. We put so much into it. We just hope everybody out there loves it as well.
Yeah, I know everyone's super excited. And being here at Gamescom, what goes into the preparation for yourselves and the team at Xbox?
Well, you look at this booth, I mean, I don't know, you're asking the wrong person. I look at this and it's just incredible, the scale of everything. I don't think the camera can capture it. I'm kind of blown away. For us, we put a video together. It gets a little bit easier to make videos when the game is just about to come out because things are done. So honestly, our part was easy, super exciting to be here and see the excitement from the fans. It means a lot to us.
Yeah, and you mentioned the booth here is massive, but Starfield itself is one of the largest game undertakings that we've ever seen. What are fans going to expect when they get their hands on the game?
Well, I think, if they played our previous games where you can kind of make the character you want and go do what you want, it's hard to express how big the game feels when you play it. There's a planet, I can really land anywhere. And it is a game, even I will admit, that you sit down, you're like, I'll play for a half hour, and then 3 hours go by, and you're like, what? It's just, I like to say the more that you give to Starfield, the more you put into it, the more it gives back.
Yeah, I'm personally super excited to get my hands on it. Also, I'm going to go and experience the experience for myself. Hopefully security let me, but thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I just hope everybody loves the game.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
All right, I hear you, Mr. Todd Howard. The more you give Starfield, the more it gives back. This sounds really awesome. I can't wait to jump into the game. But I've got another really interesting interview. Of course, I'm talking about the one with Pete Hines, head of publishing at Bethesda. He's talking about how big the game is, and this one is really exciting. Go ahead and check it out.
And if I'm being honest, there's really not an amount of time that I'm comfortable enough of now you've played enough Starfield to get what this game is, because I'm at 150, 160 hours on my current playthrough, and I haven't even come close to there is so much stuff I have intentionally not done. It's we try and tell everybody how big this game is, and the folks that are playing it, one of the few things they will tell us is, you weren't kidding how big, I can't believe how big it is. It's content and explore, no matter how you want to play, there is so much for you to do in this game.
All right. He's got 130 hours on his playthrough, and he didn't even come close to completing everything or even playing everything. Well, that gets me really excited and honestly also a little bit frightened, because this game seems to be absolutely massive. Next, I just got to show you how Starfield is presented to the audience at Gamescom, and yes, I definitely need that chair. but admittedly it will be a challenge to get my hands on one of those. But when I see that ultra widescreen right there, I don't know, maybe it's time to upgrade my monitor. Are you owning a widescreen and looking forward to playing Starfield like that, or are you, just like me, playing on a 16:9 monitor? Let me know in the comments down below, and also let me know, are you planning on playing Starfield in 4K resolution, 1440p or full HD? I'm really curious what your guys' setups are, so go sound off in the comments. And JV on YouTube is ready to write down his thoughts on Starfield. This is what he said on Twitter. I've put 29 hours into Starfield so far, and I'm finally putting pen to paper on my thoughts. August 31st cannot come soon enough. And he also goes on and says this: no, I can't answer any questions at all. Not answering something that doesn't mean anything. I know what you're trying to do, and hey, I admire the effort. So obviously people were trying to get some information out of him, but of course he's under NDA and can't share any impressions. But I'm really looking forward to all the reviews that are hitting the internet in just 1 week's time. But visitors on Gamescom also were able to get a very good impression of Starfield when they attended the behind closed doors showing of Starfield, and one user wrote down his first impressions of the presentation. Go ahead and check out this right here. I saw Starfield at Gamescom, no spoilers. He goes on and shares this image and then his first impressions of what he saw. The beginning of the game was shown for about 25 to 30 minutes. There were cuts in there. I think it was an overview of the first 2 hours of the game. It all looked very nice. The faces have just fallen out of time, but with a space helmet it looks really good again. Gunplay and ship combat looked great. Sound and soundtrack were also great. Next week Friday it finally starts. Something big is coming our way. Especially the reload animation of the first pistol you get in the game looked really good. Also, the hit feedback on enemies looked impressive, especially when compared to Fallout 4. Good night fellas, it's already late in Germany and another day closer to Starfield. And yes, agreed, again 1 day closer to Starfield launch, and thank you for the first impressions from Gamescom. But we've got some more impressions of the Gamescom Theatre showcase by GamesRadar. A Redditor just boiled down some of the talking points of their complete article. If you want to check out the whole thing, go ahead and take a look at my video description where I post links to all my sources. But let's check out what he had to say. Honestly, it's incredible, impressive, and shows a marked improvement on the excellent 60-minute demo which blew our minds apart back in the summer. Facial animations look sharper and more defined, the environment looks more vibrant, and combat looks really damn capable, and that sounds really great. Combat was one of those points where I'm not really sure if they nailed it, but it seems pretty good. Let's check out the next talking point. A little detail I really appreciated in this opening beyond that, however, was just how responsive Starfield seems to your presence. There's a moment where the character nabs a sandwich from an NPC and they audibly complain about it. It's small, but it speaks to the sort of immersive world building Bethesda has always been so fantastic at. And agreed, that's what brings open worlds to life. Next up, we've got this talking point right here. I also love that you have to manually put on your space helmet before stepping out in the airlock. And the first look at the planet's surface is stunning, a distraction that's difficult to ignore. Man, I can't wait to set my foot on a planet. I think this will be a very memorable moment. And lastly, we've got, while the scale and scope, depth and detail is impressive, it's the combat that really caught my attention on this new look at the game. Enemies are fast and reactive, working cleverly within the environment as ships fly overhead and tankers explode. Oh my god, this is getting me so hyped up. I can't tell you how much I really enjoyed this piece of information and insight. Thank you GamesRadar for that. But of course, as we know, there are people that have to wait a little bit longer for Starfield, as not everybody has early access. This post over on Reddit says, Shout out to all my fellow September 6ers. Hang in there, sometimes money is tight, especially in today's economy. No shame in having to wait a couple more days. And people go ahead and say less of a money's tight thing and more of a time's tight issue over here. But no matter the reasoning why people don't start with early access, I'm really curious about you guys. Did you opt into buying the premium edition so you will be able to start with early access, or are you waiting for the full release on September 6th? Let me know in the comments down below when you are starting and which version you bought. Did you buy the premium edition? Did you buy the full game in standard edition? Or do you have a Game Pass subscription, maybe with premium upgrade? Let me know, I'm really curious. And now it's time, we'll take a look at my last video, which was this one right here. Only awesome Starfield news, all new information and updates, and you guys had a lot to say about this one, so let's go ahead and take a look at some of your top comments, like this one right here from Scepter. He said, imagine getting shot once and dying as your suit has a hole. And I think that is a really good suggestion for a survival mod. A survival mod is really something I am looking forward to. This could actually be really cool. Then we've got this comment here from Guy Believe. He said, I've heard that they really went all out on their character creator. If so, then I'm making Tupac from the early 90s as my first character. And that's one thing I'm really looking forward to. The cool and funny creations that will come out of Bethesda's character editor. I think we're gonna see a lot of funny stuff. And then we've got this comment here from Zombie Hyperdrive. Thank you for taking the time to make this video. I enjoyed it a lot. And thank you for taking the time to write this comment. I appreciate that very much. And reading some of the nice comments really makes my day. Thank you guys for all your support on my recent videos. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And I wish you all an awesome day, and I'll catch you in the next one.